Inventions by Archimedes. When you hear the name Archimedes, what do you think of? Be you reminded of a famous quote or a principle learned in physics class. But did you know that Archimedes was also a prolific inventor? From his mechanical inventions to his discoveries in engineering and mathematics, Archimedes' inventions changed the world. So let's take a look at some of the most incredible ones. Number 10. Archimedes' Claw. There are many stories about the famous scientist and mathematician Archimedes, but perhaps the most well-known is that of him shouting Eureka while running through the streets of Syracuse after having a sudden realization about the density of a king's crown. But another popular legend has it that he single-handedly defended his home of Syracuse against an invading Roman fleet in 212 BC by using a large crane and a pair of pliers to haul ships out of the water and flip them over, allowing the Syracusans to attack them more easily. Whether this story is completely true or not, there is evidence that Archimedes invented a kind of grappling hook called the Archimedes Claw, which could be used to capture ships. This invention consisted of two large pincers connected to a central pivot point and a long pole. The claw would then be dropped onto the deck of a ship, securing it to the pole with its pincers, so that it could be pulled out of the water like a bucket from a well, according to historian and philosopher Pliny the Elder. This is exactly what happened to two Roman ships captured by Syracuse during an attempted invasion in 214 BC, however. Accounts of the war by Roman historians cast doubt on Archimedes' role in the defense of Syracuse and even claim that he built machines to help the Romans invade the city. So we may never know for sure how much of a difference Archimedes' inventions actually made to the outcome of the war. No, 9. Archimedes' water saw. One of Archimedes' most practical inventions was his water saw, which was used for cutting stone and metal. It consisted of a thin blade attached to a watertight frame. Water was pumped through the blade, forcing it to rotate rapidly when turned by a crank. The blade was so sharp that it could easily cut through stone and metal, making it an invaluable tool for builders and engineers. To make one of these amazing saws, you can purchase a kit that includes everything you need to build your own working replica of Archimedes' invention. No. 8. Archimedes' Pulley. The pulley is a simple machine that has been used for centuries to make lifting heavy objects easier. It consists of a wheel and a rope or cable that is wrapped around the wheel. By turning the wheel, you can lift or lower a load attached to the other end of the rope. While the pulley was invented independently several times in different parts of the world, it is believed that Archimedes was the first to describe it in detail in his work Mechanics. He also described a compound pulley system that could be used to lift very heavy loads with relatively little effort. Today, pulleys are used in a wide variety of applications, from construction sites to factories to boats and ships. Number 7. Archimedes' Lever. Another simple machine that Archimedes studied was the lever. A lever is a rigid object that can rotate around a fixed point called a fulcrum. When a force is applied to one end of the lever, it causes the other end to move in the opposite direction. Archimedes discovered the law of the lever, which states that the effort required to move a load is inversely proportional to the distance from the fulcrum to the point where the load is applied. This means that if you want to move a heavy load, you can use a longer lever to reduce the amount of effort required. Levers are used in many everyday objects, such as seesaws, crowbars, and scissors. Number 6. Archimedes' Catapult. Catapults were a common weapon used in ancient warfare, but Archimedes is believed to have designed one of the most powerful catapults ever built. His catapult was a massive machine that could hurl stones and other projectiles for great distances. It consisted of a long arm that was wound up like a giant spring. When the arm was released, it would swing forward and launch a projectile from a bucket suspended from its end. According to legend, Archimedes' catapult was able to hurl stones that weighed up to 330 pounds over the city walls of Syracuse, causing widespread destruction. While there is no physical evidence of this invention, it is mentioned in ancient texts and has been depicted in works of art. Number 5. Archimedes' Gear. While Archimedes is best known for his contributions to mathematics and physics, he also made significant advances in engineering. One of his most important inventions was the Archimedes Screw, also known as a helical screw pump. This device consists of a spiral-shaped pipe that is rotated by hand or animal power. As the pipe rotates, it screws the liquid inside it along the axis of rotation, allowing it to be pumped to a higher elevation. This invention was used for irrigation and drainage, and is still used today in some parts of the world. Number 4. Archimedes spiral. The Archimedes spiral is a type of spiral that appears in various mathematical and engineering applications. It is defined as the locus of points, each of which is at a constant angular distance from a fixed point and has a distance from the origin that varies linearly with the angle. Archimedes discovered the spiral while studying the properties of curves, and it has since been used in a variety of fields, including astronomy, physics, and engineering. No. 3. Archimedes quadricycle. While Archimedes is remembered as a brilliant mathematician and inventor, he was also a gifted engineer. One of his most interesting creations was a quadricycle that he designed and built in the 3rd century BC. This four-wheeled vehicle is considered to be the earliest known example of a self-propelled tricycle. According to ancient accounts, Archimedes built the quadricycle as a way to transport himself around the city of Syracuse, without the need for a horse or other animal. It is said that he powered the vehicle by hand cranking a wheel, which turned a set of gears that drove the other 3 wheels. Unfortunately, no physical evidence of the quadricycle remains, but it is often depicted in works of art and has been the subject of numerous scientific papers. Number 2. Archimedes' death ray. Perhaps the most infamous of all Archimedes' inventions is his death ray, also known as the Archimedes zapper. This legendary device was said to be a powerful laser-like weapon that could burn ships and even set them on fire from miles away, according to legend. Archimedes built the death ray as a last-ditch effort to defend the city of Syracuse against a Roman siege in 212 BC. He supposedly positioned the device on a high point, overlooking the harbor, and focused its deadly rays on the Roman fleet. The death ray was said to be so powerful that it could burn the sails and rigging of the ships without harming the crew. And in some accounts, it was even able to set the ships on fire directly. Of course, this is just a legend, and there is no physical evidence that the death ray ever existed. But it makes for a fun story and captures the imagination. No. 1. Archimedes' number. One of Archimedes' most important discoveries was his method for calculating pi, the ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter. Using a regular polygon inscribed in a circle, he was able to approximate the value of pi to within a few percentage points. This discovery was a major step forward in mathematics and helped pave the way for future discoveries about pi. Archimedes' method is still used today in some form to calculate pi and other mathematical constants. Which invention by Archimedes was your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos about amazing inventors.